Hi guys. So just real quick before I start my reading, I've had a couple viewers ask if I offer personal readings, and another nice friend of the channel, Frida, wanted to donate to the channel. So thank you so much for asking these things, and I wanted to let you know I have taken a step to becoming a sole proprietor, they call it, so I can add a donation, PayPal, and maybe then also offer personal readings. But just FYI, it could take a few weeks because you have to sign some things and send them through the mail, and because of the illness, everything, of course, takes longer. So just FYI, maybe in the new year, I will have these options, and thank you again for asking. I'm thinking for personal readings, I could set it up just like it is right now, since I record with my phone anyway, and I would just, could do like a FaceTime thing and pull cards, on your life and chat and do it that way. So just something I'm thinking about for the new year, but just wanted to pass that on, and thank you again for your interest in these things. And so let's get to a reading. So much going on, my gosh. December has started with a bang. The Bill Barr stuff, the pardon story. Now I read a story that Ivanka was deposed this week in an inauguration lawsuit by the DC Attorney General. So it's just crazy. And doesn't it kind of feel like some of these things are being dropped on purpose right now? It almost feels like there's a push to get Trump out, to stop trying all of his illegal attempts at a coup and all of this. It's crazy. But one thing I found very interesting is realizing that the FBI has been investigating the White House on this pardon scheme, this pardon bribery scheme. It's interesting in general, but it really makes me wonder, how much is the FBI investigating? How many other things that we don't know about are happening? So let's look. Show us the FBI. How much is the FBI have on Trump and others in the White House and different illegal schemes? Is there a lot? Show us. Okay. And Chris Wray, I just heard that Biden is keeping Christopher Wray, the head of the current head of the FBI, for when he's in office. So that's a good sign that Christopher Wray has been acting in good faith, or acting with integrity and investigating the right things. And that, of course, is why Trump has issues with him, and the right wing call for his firing all the time. So show us what else the FBI, is it a lot? Is there a lot that the FBI is investigating? Will these things come out for us when the time is right? Because I do think that they might just be waiting for Trump era to end. Okay, so here's what I get for that. I hope you guys like my Christmas decorations. I figured, I decorate everywhere else. Why not on my little table here? It's actually my husband's idea, which I thought was kind of cute. So anyway, very interesting read here. We start with the Knight of Cups. This is sort of where they are right now. And it's interesting because the Knight of Cups is a very sort of polite, gracious, romantic, not an overbearing type of man, but a gentle man. And a knight being sort of of the lower status, right? And I believe this is how they are handling themselves around currently with the Trump, people, with Trump, with the White House. They are sort of playing polite. And I say playing because I do see a lot of powerful cards here, but they are currently in this place of having to be polite. And what's covering it, and this tells me what I was kind of saying in the setup, this Two of Rods is often what I see of as the new beginning, the new journey. So they're waiting, they're staying polite and fairly quiet until this new beginning. The two rods almost representing like a doorway, and then we move through it. That's Trump leaving and Biden coming in. So it's like a card of making plans for the next thing. In the meantime, they're playing nice, because they have to wait until this next thing comes in. And we see here the loss and the Hanged Man at the bottom. So at the surface, we have Trump's loss, okay? Beneath it all is that Hanged Man, again telling us they are just waiting for this time to pass. And I'll say, because we are reading on the FBI and not Trump, this Five of Cups, I think is also, this must be how they are also feeling right now. Perhaps because they are having to sit tight. And that's what this Hanged Man, having to sit tight, even while what they're seeing on the surface is happening. And that's interesting because, you know, if they really do have this information on different schemes and that they have to sort of keep waiting and sitting tight, that's sort of interesting. And then here I get to the more powerful cards where I know, because when I first saw this, I thought, well, this doesn't seem like they have much at all. A Knight of Cups is so polite, but I realize it's because they're waiting for the new. I think it really it's painful to have to wait. See, to have to watch, well, those cups almost look like, you know, blood being spilled or something like that. Like, it's painful to have to wait. You know, it's painful for all of us to see what Trump is doing, this behavior. He's just hurting the country and not helping it. He's so angry about his loss that he's sort of trying to stage a coup, and it's like we're all having to deal with his tantrum. We're all having to deal with his tantrum and wait for this thing to end, wait for him to finally exit. And I am really sorry to say I checked with my pendulum on when Trump's leaving. You know, because I do always feel this peaceful time coming at the end of December. And maybe it's just nice that he's going to be out of the White House for a little while, but I do feel, at least my pendulum says, he's going to stay as long as he can. I think, like, the last day of his presidency, he's not going to give up his presidency to Pence, you know? And why not just continue to cause problems and have his tantrum as president for as long as he can? And just mess everything up as much as he can and try to make as much money as he can, that kind of thing. But I do still see him, well, you know, maybe in the last day resigning and giving it to Pence just so Pence can give him a pardon or something like that. Which I don't know that the pardon will even stand. So I'm, not trying to put that out there. Because the FBI, back to the reading, has a lot on him. Look at this 10 of Swords. To ask what do they have on him and to get a 10 of Swords like that, that's the most you can have. And you can see what it does to a person. And then what's coming for him in the near future, and I take this as in the next month, okay, is a 3 of Swords, which is something that will break his heart, that will hurt him a lot, okay? So they have a ton, and something's gonna come. And I did pull some clarifiers on this because I was so curious. And I got a 6 of Swords, a Page of Cups, and the Star card. Here's what I think. That we're gonna get an idea, and there's a lot more that comes out a lot stronger in the long run after this transition happens. But we will get a hint of it when he's gone, the 6 of Swords. He's gone to Mar-a-Lago for Christmas. And this Page of Cups indicating that they will put a little bit out there on this. I wanted to add something here because I pulled these cards yesterday in the evening, and then last night I dreamt of the cards. In the middle of the night I woke up and there was a song in my head. The song was Auld Lang Syne, which is that classic New Year's Eve song. So I'm thinking it could be pointing us to that time period again, but I think even more telling is what that song is about, which is about old acquaintances not being forgotten. And I'm certain that's a big part of the message because I got chills when I realized that. So I'm betting there's something coming up concerning former associates from Trump's past before his presidency, in which case a presidential pardon won't help him since that should only cover federal crimes during the years of his presidency. And when I got the acquaintance message, I kept seeing this guy in my mind. And I finally found his name. It's Tevfik Arif. I'll put a picture here. I looked him up. He's a Trump associate. He's kind of this like mysterious Turkish guy who also spent a lot of years in Moscow working for the government as an economist. Excuse me. And he then came to America and built his offices in Trump Tower and then partnered with Trump to build Soho Trump Tower, along with someone named Felix Sater. These two are really, really low lives, mobster types. And if you're sensitive to crimes of an uncomfortable nature, you might want to fast forward through this. Felix Sater has been charged with certain sex crimes against underage people, and this Arif guy was also charged in 2010 with trafficking women out of his yacht. And I mention that here because when I read that, it hit about those guys, it hit me that these cards here may be representing that sort of thing. Sorry to say, and probably what the heartbreak card is here, this Six of Swords, which is like traveling by a boat, and then we have a Page of Cups, which could indicate younger people, innocent people. So this may be a story that comes out involving some operation like that connected to Trump or the Trump organization. I would guess money laundering, since that's what these people target businessmen like Trump for that, for money laundering for their criminal activities. So that's what I wanted to say here. And then I get this star card as sort of, which has been referencing for me that sort of time in December, Christmas time or the winter solstice time, that last 2 weeks, when we'll get a hint of this. So let's just look for something in December to come out that might indicate something bigger. And it'll like make us feel relieved, I think. And the star can also be a sort of guiding light, okay? Which goes along with that idea that whatever we get a glimpse of here, whether it's maybe some more court documents come out or something that indicate something is under investigation, and we'll sort of have this guiding light, like aha, like kind of like we do right now with this bribery thing, this pardon bribery scheme. And I do think they let these things be known a little bit so that it puts more pressure on Trump, and it's a message to Trump, like, we have been watching this, we have been watching that, like, you don't have the power here, we know, something like that. And then look who does have the power, the Strength card right here, and the Tower card. With the Tower card, I mean, yeah, it's like, that's why I say, like, Knight of Cups doesn't go with all these power cards. That's because they have to play nice until the time comes. But they have a ton. And then the Tower, you know, could be also just Trump's world currently falling apart, which we're seeing. So yeah, they have this, the FBI has the strength to take him down. This Tower card is the taking down of what they're taking down. And it's already happening. So it's like, that's just such a good sign and a good feeling right there. Hopes and fears, we have this Six of Cups. So I feel this as, so the Six of Cups is like a nostalgia, like old friends, old times, a simpler times. And so I think they're hoping to get more from his associates who have done things with him. You know, like, so I think, of course, they're still investigating things and they're hoping to get more, and possibly even from his family members. Okay, long-term outcome. We have the King of Cups with the Chariot and a King of Pentacles and a Knight of Rods. These are all strong action cards. I mean, the Chariot is the strongest of action cards. So they'll come out strong. I feel this King of Cups to be Christopher Wray. So here he is represented here. And I feel this King of Pentacles to be Cy Vance, who has an investigation into Trump's taxes. He knows, and I'll show you because I got some stuff here. He knows about the debts, and he knows about probably the debts to Russia. And then the Knight of Rods is, it's interesting with the FBI. It seems like it's like they come out strong, but to us it might look like, because so much it gets redacted, but there's something that will, it's like, it's hard for me because it's coming so strong and they're such powerful figures. And then we have a Knight of Rods down here, which seems like, it's like sometimes these big things, the way they come out, it's like a press release or something, or suddenly we see some court documents. So it could be a sort of press release. I'm not a press release, a press conference. Maybe sort of like we saw, like Letitia James did that with the NRA. Okay, so I think that's what that might be. Coming out strong with Christopher Wray, Cy Vance, and a press conference. And then I looked at the base. At that time, there was the Moon card, which reiterates the idea that there's more hidden that we don't know, right? Like, you know, we get this glimpse of this investigation into a bribery scheme for pardons. That's crazy. That's huge. And so this sort of answers my question that there is more that is hidden. And to have the Magician card right underneath the Moon card brings me to where there's like an operation of, you know, I know investigators and maybe even other, you know, in other countries. That sort of is what these two cards bring me to. And then with the Empress, I mean, these three just right in a row like that, really strong. And this Empress can be like a pregnancy card, like the hidden operation is like ready to burst, you know what I mean? And the Empress can also be America, you know, America the Beautiful. So it's like, it's coming. It's there. It's represented. You know, I ask, is there more hidden? The answer is absolutely 100% yes. And it's powerful. The Magician's the most powerful card, and it involves a lot of different players or powers. A lot of different powers go into the Magician. Like a network, a strong network protecting America. Two of Pentacles, I do read this as they are adding a voiceover here because I read this clearly now as the money laundering I mentioned earlier. That Two of Pentacles is moving money. And there's a Nine of Swords behind it, which is the anxiety and pressure put upon Trump to do this for them when they ask, because they have these things on him, these loans. And I'm sure it all makes him sleepless now as well, knowing what may come back to haunt him. And this Devil card right there as well, the card of being owned, controlled. Trump has been the devil where he controls others, but he has also served the devil himself many times. So the anxiousness, then we've got the devil. Yeah, and the Hermit. And this makes me feel that they are watching him closely, that Hermit with the devil. So that's interesting. And then after I did these added cards here, which was what's coming. Okay, yeah. So this also gave me a little bit of a clue. Yeah, it's money stuff. Here's the debt, the Five of Pentacles bringing me to Cy Vance. The Eight of Pentacles could be that exact bribery scheme, because this is like focusing on something in order to make your money grow, right? So we've got debt and we've got making your money grow. Of course, based on the dream, I now see this as crimes from the past, money laundering, or different ways of making money in criminal ways with his former associates. And who knows what else? If they've been looking at the bribery scheme, and, you know, we have so many suspicions of so many other ways that he may have tried to line his own pockets. So that's there. And the King of Swords, it's like someone knows. you know, someone, and then another Pentacles. I mean, it's just like, there's a King of Swords in the middle of all these Pentacle cards, which are like debt and making money. And there's someone in the middle who knows some things and gives it up. I don't know that we ever know that he knows, or that he ever, you know, publicly turns, or if he just gives some stuff up. I think that that's what that is. And, you know, Ace of Rods would be resulting in a pretty tough judgment of sorts, or a report of some kind. I have to say I'm feeling strong Mueller report vibes here. I think we will see a lot more of that report and what it expanded into as we move forward. That's really interesting. Yeah, I would say that the FBI has a lot, and it's gonna come out. I mean, the Chariot card is a card that says something is coming out. So it's all there, and it's just a matter of waiting for this new time to come. It will ruin him. And there'll be a hint of it coming out, I think, in mid to late December, that will be like, oh my gosh, you know, that will show us, and we will be anticipating this because of what comes out here. So I hope you guys liked that. I thank you for tuning in. So happy to have people to share my reads with, and you know, feel free to leave, you know, comments and thoughts, and otherwise I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.